Hey guys, Tyandaga here.
Come on, buddy, open the door. We won't shoot you.
Nobody's home?
Oh, he says nobody's home. What should we do?
Okay, these raiders are fairly stupid, so that should hold them off long enough. So anyways, you're probably extremely curious as to how I got caught in this situation. How there's crazies with guns try to kill me? Well, would it surprise you if I told you that this is all because I read a book for a change? No? Oh well. Hang on a second, this is gonna bug me unless I do something. Jeez, let me just get this terminal up and running. I never had the best touch when it comes to technology like this. Just remember, kids, whenever there's a problem, hit it. So I'll start off by saying that I absolutely love Fallout Equestria. Heck, I read it twice, so when I found out that there was another story based in the same universe, Project Horizons, I was honestly elated. Fallout Equestria is, and here's the biggest understatement of the century, a long read. And while I extensively covered a vast array of content, I always felt that there was more that could be added, more story to explore. While K-Cat, the wonderful author of Fallout Equestria, went to great lengths to fully flesh out every little detail, the world created was just too vast, just too rich to cover in the perspective of just one character. Now I'm just going to cover some ground rules here before we get into the beef of the video. I'll do my best to keep this spoiler free, as in I won't necessarily be chatting about the content within the story, so for the most part you should be able to watch this just fine without learning about the main story. Also, I'll do my best to explain everything to the best of my abilities, but it would help you understand better if you had a basic knowledge of what Fallout is. As well, with this story being so massive, I'll be covering only the main aspects of Project Horizons, as well as giving some of my own opinions. To help assist in this review, I'll be comparing Project Horizons to the original Fallout Equestria. Okay, so Project Horizons, created by an equally as awesome author known as Somber, tells the story of Blackjack, a unicorn mare born and raised in Stable 99, which is the equivalent of a vault from the Fallout video game series. Vaults or stables are massive underground structures meant to house hundreds of people or ponies, and keep them protected from the post-apocalyptic nightmare of the wastelands above, all caused by a war between the zebras and ponies. Blackjack works as one of the many in security, however is certainly not a fit for her job. She is notably lazy, undisciplined, and lacks the focus to be successful in security. However, things don't last, and once Blackjack discovers a top-secret file of immense importance, of which many want, enough of which to break into their stable and kill anyone and everyone in their way to gather this very data, she's forced out of her comfortable yet abysmally boring life in Stable 99 to keep this file away from those trying to take it, and to find out for herself its significance. Well, it's the characters that make the story, so it makes sense to start with that. Blackjack and her wasteland peer Little Pip from the original Fallout Equestria in ways are very much alike as characters. However, they have some important differences that make them unique in and of themselves.
Hey, buddy, I'm a character, so why let me in?
Well, since you put it that way, no! Blackjack herself proclaims to be, and I quote, not a smart pony. Well, at times this seems to be quite the contrary, exhibiting sheer strokes of genius. There are far more instances where she makes some, how do we put it, poorly thought through decisions. She's certainly a lot more brave and battle-ready than Little Pip. However, Little Pip was better at making more cohesive plans, and not as reliant on others to solve problems or tackle challenges. As well, Blackjack is extremely charismatic. She's often able to talk her way in and out of dangerous situations, and despite her abilities in combat, would rather sort disputes out through discussion, cutting out the violence. This is a trait that Little Pip as a character would have loved to possess, however had never developed. Little Pip was far better at sneaking around obstacles, whereas Blackjack confronts each new problem head on. It makes for a refreshing change of perspective after reading the original Fallout Equestria, and gives us a new approach to problem solving in the Wastelands. While Blackjack better handles the physical trials of the Wastelands, she struggled with the emotional battles that result. Blackjack is prone to mental breakdowns, which seem to happen often, and such breakdowns would have caused her pain or even death had her friends not been around to pull her out. Both Blackjack and Little Pip feel the guilt of their killing. However, while Little Pip is faster at recovering and strives towards paying back the Wasteland with good deeds wherever she can, Blackjack stumbles in self-pity. This is arguably her biggest weakness, however the most understandable from an audience's perspective. Blackjack is also haunted by the Dealer, an apparition from her own mind that reminds her of all the wrongs she's committed, using her own guilt to torment her. It eventually gets to the point where Blackjack even converses with the apparition, causing concern from her friends. Now, it wouldn't be right of me to talk about Fallout Equestria and not bring up the topic of addiction. Addiction is one of the main themes in both stories. Blackjack is willing to use and abuse pretty much any substance she can get a hold of. She's certainly aware of the positive effects of the drugs she takes, but at times seems absolutely unaware of what the negative consequences are. Nor does she bother to ask anyone who might know. She even goes as far as taking multiple different drugs at once to reap the collective benefit. Little Pip, on the other hand, seems to be aware of her addictions very early on, yet struggled to kick the habit and denied it being a problem. Both characters end up relying on drugs and supplements to carry on in stressful times and situations.
Hey, don't forget to mention that Project Horizons takes place in the Fallout New Vegas game.
Huh, you're actually right, thanks.
So, you gonna let me in?
Well, no. While the original Fallout Equestria story had indications that it took place in Fallout 3, Project Horizon seemed to reflect Fallout New Vegas. In the New Vegas game, factions played an important role in shaping how the player experiences the world around them. In the game, you had such factions as the New California Republic and Caesar's Legion, who were influential groups with powerful military presence, siding with one meant earning enemies from others. Now, the same idea applies in Project Horizons, with factions like the Crusaders, the Pecos, Zebra Remnant, etc., where Blackjack's actions and alliances affect which groups want her alive, want her dead, or simply just don't care. Throughout the story, Blackjack must be cautious about who she allies with. Heck, even the story from New Vegas and Project Horizons are roughly similar. In the New Vegas game, you as the main character are tasked with delivering a package, but are attacked because of it. This is nearly identical to the situation Blackjack is faced with in her story, and the important data she found from Stable 99 that she fights to keep safe. Even though Blackjack and Lil Pip are fantastic characters in and of themselves, it's the supporting cast of friends around them that truly helps complete them.
Hey buddy, I'm your friend, why don't you open the door?
Why don't you leave me alone? No thank you, Raiders, geez, persistent bunch, eh? Now, in a seemingly futile attempt not to spoil anything here, I'm not going to mention what each character is like, as that would reveal some plot points, but rather how they as a collective help their respective main character. In Little Pip's story, her friends are extremely loyal to her. They all believe in one another's talents, abilities, and decisions. This leads to a strong trust between them, and while they may do things that the others don't like, it's all done with good intentions. They have a strong and consistent friendship between them. However, this isn't quite the case when it comes to Blackjack's ragtag team of misfits. While the group of friends that accompany Blackjack seem to certainly care for her, there are times where their loyalty is questionable. Blackjack's first friend who accompanied her in the escape from Stable 99, P21, doesn't trust himself with a gun, in fact, as he says himself that given the opportunity, he's afraid that he would shoot Blackjack intentionally. He ends up opting for more explosive weapon choices such as grenades and dynamite in order to still be effective in the wastelands, yet not as an imminent of a danger to Blackjack. It's also important to note that everyone in her merry band has at least attacked or injured Blackjack before joining the crew. I just thought that was kind of funny. As far as my own opinion goes, Project Horizons is an excellent addition to the Fallout Equestria fanfiction. It's a beautifully written piece of literature, and Somber does an absolutely fantastic job keeping the same style and narrative of the original Fallout Equestria. While there may have been even more vivid descriptions in Somber's Project Horizons, which in hindsight seems hard to believe considering the original story was immensely, well, descriptive, I think it suits the style of Blackjack's character. In essence, Project Horizons is a grittier, more in-your-face version of the original Fallout Equestria. It expands on some of the plot points missed in the original story and adds its own unique twists and turns that keep you reading and reading. I always found it interesting how something as innocent and nice like MLP could be combined into something far more grim and dark like Fallout. At a distance, you'd think it wouldn't work at all, but KCAT and soon after Somber did an amazing job finding unique and creative ways to link the two vastly different content. It's truly a testament to these authors' skills as writers. I'll mention it right now that if you're interested in reading either of these stories but have not played any Fallout games, don't worry. While you may miss out on some references here and there, you certainly will not be lost in the story. Heck, I read the original Fallout Equestria the first time before playing Fallout 3, and I still found it extremely enjoyable. As well, there's no need to have read the original Fallout Equestria to enjoy Project Horizons. However, just like I said before, you'll be missing out on a few references to the original text at occasional moments throughout the story. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this review of Project Horizons. If you haven't already, why not give it a read? Both the Project Horizons story as well as the original Fallout Equestria will be linked in the description below. Both are absolutely fantastic reads, so please, I would recommend both. As well, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, be sure to leave a like. As well, don't forget to subscribe. It's a great way of supporting me for free, and it only takes a click.
So are you now gonna let me in, please?
Do you realize how much extra artwork, animation, and editing I would have to do just to have you walk through that door right now, right here at the end? Jeez, and you thought these stories were grim.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you were so lazy.
Thank you, finally someone who understands me. Well, anyways guys, once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. This is Tyandaga signing out. Shut up!